Well, Showtime's back again. Wow. Because I already did Showdown episode 47, the last Showdown before WrestleVision, which is the Sunday. I did that. I thought I was done for that day. Well, I want to get this done and over with. Times where things got really weird and kind of spooky, really. Now, I have mostly the SmackDown version. Now, I'm not going to have my phone with this because I'll do like the games that I have here. Like, most of these are from the SmackDown versus Raw games, and one, two, 3, 4, 5 are the 2K games, but well, I'm gonna rank them in order from what game they are from. But anyway, so yeah, tomorrow will be. By the way, tomorrow will be on my secondary channel, so subscribe, click notification on that one, so you will see One Night Stand 2006, ECW One Night Stand 2006. So we'll get there. But regardless, here we go. So we're gonna start from now. I don't count SmackDown versus Raw or that because there's nothing like really weird or spooky about some of the storylines. But we're gonna have to start from the beginning. SmackDown versus Raw 2006. Really fun game. These are real nostalgia games for us. There's a story in this game called Earning Your Spot. It's a storyline where Undertaker gets controlled by Eddie Guerrero. You know about the storyline. Alright, we played this like a lot. Nothing like really creepy about the story all the way until the end of the game. The story that is the end where you fought Undertaker in a Buried Alive match. Now, the story will end with the Buried Alive match, which was a new concept in this game. Where the choice you made, it will not go into effect to the Buried Alive match, okay? If you say against Eddie Guerrero, you will still face Undertaker and vice versa. You beat him, Eddie doesn't know he has the fake urn. He opens up the casket, tells him to get up. Undertaker controls by your character. It doesn't matter which SmackDown wrestler you choose. Well, in the story that is. And why is this part creepy? This game came out sometime after Eddie Guerrero passed away. I don't remember what the date of the game was. I have to look it up. Yeah, that's probably why this was... I mean, this was the only, like, part of the game story on the SmackDown side of Earning Your Spot that got really creepy. So yeah, that's one story about it. Let's move on to the next one, the best one of the SmackDown vs. Raw trilogy. You already know. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. There's some more infamous storylines in this game. Like Triple H, for example, becomes the interim Raw general manager. However, there are some really creepy stuff in some stories. Like the story of Undertaker and Chris Benoit. We all know this is the last WWE game to have Chris Benoit in, and yeah, the less I say about that, the better. But Undertaker in this story will say to Chris Benoit, something creepy about it, because this came out before Benoit did the something. Undertaker said, if you insist on making this mistake, then your grieving family will have no one to blame but you when it never occurred. And yeah. The other one, it's one of the weirder stories, one of the more infamous storylines with Candice Michelle and the magic wand where she turns your character, she makes your character go loopy and fall over with the wand and turns your character into a woman to fight her, and Edge talks like Daivari, and there are two boogeymans. That's a weird story in the game. And it's with the ladder match where the one gets snapped in half. And then there's one more. One with Kane, who kidnaps Melina when you are fighting for Undertaker for the world title. And there's one alternate scene in the parking lot brawl match with Kane, which shout to Youngboy 11. He did a video on the alternate choices and cutscenes in that. On this, where if you lose to Kane, Melina becomes brainwashed by Kane. Yeah, that's kind of creepy to look at it. Well, not it's kind of like, okay, that's kind of weird in a way. But yeah. And by the way, if you lose that parking lot brawl, you face Undertaker one-on-one. You're going one-on-one with the Undertaker in a last-man stay match. But I think they're supposed to do like a Buried Alive match, but you cannot do the Buried Alive match at WrestleMania. I think this only had to be in the Armageddon arena. But still. Okay, next up is SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. It's a little disappointing to 2007, but it's way better than the next game. Now there's only one weird like cutscene in the game where in the month of February, it doesn't matter what brand you're on because this game has one of the it has one of the worst, like, what am I trying to say? It has one of the most non-ending stories because if you have to complete 100% in the Legends progress, that's how the story mode ends. You place into a story with the McMahon's help from Undertaker or Kane, but we're going to do it Undertaker because Undertaker's going to be most of these storylines. Undertaker and the Great Khali. And the next show, you'll be in a tag match with either Rey Mysterio on SmackDown or Jeff Hardy for Raw. But before that, some heel said, yeah, I don't want to team up with you against these two monsters. Yeah, you gotta be out of your freaking mind, basically. Now, why is this part really weird or creepy to see this cutscene? These games are not real, basically. Undertaker slowly and stalks your tag partner backstage, where he has magic powers or something like that to block your partner from running away. And there's a first-person view of Undertaker reaching towards the tag partner like this. And yeah, that came to a handicap match because of it. Now, that first-person view of Undertaker grabbing your partner is really scary to look at it. But yeah. Yeah, SPR08 was not as great as 07's, but it's damn better than this. I really do not like this game, to be honest with you. But this is the worst study game I ever played. No. 15 or that. Now, I should have put 15 on here, but there's nothing really scary or creepy or scary about any storylines. But yeah. Now, the SPR09, Road to WrestleMania for The Undertaker, which is the best storyline on this game. You get a really dark version of the Boogeyman. Like, Boogeyman was only comedy relief. It eats worms. But in this game, he becomes like the mystery man for Santino and Finlay, who has cursed powers to take down any threat, even Undertaker and Kane. You know, he hypnotized Kane, and Undertaker tombstones Kane to get him out of that whatever spot it is. And Undertaker turns one of the Finlay or Santino into zombies. And yeah, really weird stuff. Undertaker kills the Boogeyman at the end. And we won't see him again until 2K22 as a DLC character. Spoiler alert. But yeah. Now the other storylines like Triple H want to reform Evolution or DX, CM Punk, and the ECW thing, which is the worst storyline in the game. Cena for America, fuck yeah, and Jericho trying to find who the masked man is, either Kennedy or Orton. The Undertaker one is really crazy. But yeah, there was nothing weird, creepy, or scary about any of the stories in SVR 2010. So we're going to skip to SVR 2011, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, the second best behind 07. I think 07 was better than 2011, honestly. Well, SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, that is. And you guys said it has to do with The Undertaker. I will count every road to WrestleMania in this game. There's only like, what, 5? That's John Cena, Christian, Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, and versus Undertaker. Yeah, it says versus Undertaker. Yeah, Christian got a road to WrestleMania in this game. Now, nothing is weird in this story until you hit February, that is. Undertaker controls, like, the feed of you talking to the steady man, you fight a bunch of druids in a druid arena, which is a cool arena in this game, by the way. Stuff with the urn and the souls you get. If you get all the souls, you fight Mask Kane, which is an unlockable attire, by the way. The only thing I don't like about the Mask Kane look, the mask mouth moves. You look at Kane's like mask, the mask part of the mouth never, ever, ever moves. The first version, that is, not the one from 2002 to 2003. And also the creepy part for Paul Bear, you know, when he was a ghost, but in 2010 he was still alive until 2013 when he passed away. But Paul Bear is still in my like stuff, you know. And when the end comes, by the way, there's one secret ending of it, but you get one part where Undertaker electrified Paul Bear. So he killed him with cement in kayfabe, and in this story, he kills Paul Bear by electrocuting him. And also the end where you lose, so here a bunch of druids turn you into a druid also. So yeah, nothing really scary or creepy or weird for the next few games like WWE 12 and 15 and 16 and 17 and 18. And you're probably not sure, what about WWE 13, 2K14? There was no story mode, nothing like that. It's just to relive the action in 13 and the WrestleMania mode also. But we're going to skip to 2018 for 2K19. No, Undertaker's not involved in this time around. It's Bray Wyatt, rest in peace to him. Where I know the 2K games are, but not next one we're going to talk about yet. Not yet. Where Bray Wyatt, you know, is the villain of this story, where he will burn your character's name was Buzz, and yeah, it was actually, and in this, he will put like some gas and make sure your character falls down, and you will be placed in the Wyatt compound where you fight a evil mask Baron Blade or zombie Triple H, and that's not creepy enough. You see a bunch of like creepy stuff with the Matt Hardy stuff, and basically there's that. I forgot most about that story, but yeah, you do burn Bray Wyatt's house in the game, which, Jesus Christ, man, he never catch a break. In video game form, that is. Do I have to say anything about 2K20? We're 5 years from this game being a thing. Now, there's the bump in the night. But for this, we're going to disqualify that. Because, yes, that is creepy. But I'll talk about the one with Undertaker in it. Yes, Undertaker again. Undertaker's back again for another story. But the next story, you don't have him in any of it. you get talked with Paul Heyman about want to submit your legacy against The Undertaker. This gets really weird. You go into a boiler room, your two characters named Red and Trey. Terrible names for a story like this. Um, then you meet up with Papa Shango in the fucking boiler room. Then you fight Kane in an alternate world boiler room. And then you get to fight Bray Wyatt and Nikki Cross in the swamp haunted house part. Are we even playing a WWE game at this point? And then you fight The Undertaker in hell. Yes, you're going one-on-one with The Undertaker in hell. That's my Tay Long reference right there. And this all led to you fight Undertaker at Survivor Series, by the way. Yeah, it still is a bad game. But this is way better than 5-Star Wrestling with Genesis. Now we get to 2K22. Nothing scary or anything like that until the last one we're to talk about. There are two stories that are weird. One, you're fighting Rey Mysterio in a parking lot, or get to the backstage in a story like this, where you're mocking Eddie Guerrero, like, Jesus Christ, Rey Mysterio has to stop mentioning Eddie all the time in WWE. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Rey Mysterio, but yeah. After he bulldogs you, you're fighting the ghost of Eddie Guerrero in a parking lot. But in reality, it was Rey Mysterio. You were knocked the F out. And there's another story where you beat Finn Balor for the NXT title. And Finn sends these demon minions onto you to the rematch, which is, again, really weird. But still, there was nothing creepy about any of the other stories. I mean, this was just a plain... This is like SPRO8, really. You don't get a real ending to either story, really. Men or women. Weird. Okay, WWE2K23. Nothing that creepy or scary, but there's one weird moment in... You get close to the end. Now, they... What am I trying to say? They at least got some endings to the men and women stories of the game. Like, there's one story with Becky Lynch where she wants to haunt your dreams, and when you're in the dream, you're fighting 3 Becky Lynches in an empty arena. Again, nothing weird or creepy about it. It was just a part of the weird part of the story. And lastly, 2K24. The scary and creepy parts of the story are back. If you're this supernatural storyline, but I don't know what it's called. You got an amulet from Alexa Bliss, like this is Mortal Kombat, and your character thinks she's invincible. Again, we know. Where she does like a soul siphon move, like you're Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat, and then your amulet disappears. Asuka becomes possessed for some reason. And then you fight this giant creature called the Manifestation. And you beat it, and it disappears. This has to be one of the weirder stories in the game. Who knows what WWE2K25 will give us? Any scary or creepy or weird storylines. But nothing compares to the earlier ones, like 07, for example, or 2009 or 2011 with those Undertaker stories. But regardless, so tomorrow will be on my secondary channel, subscribe, click the notification bell on that, so you'll see ECW One Night Stand 2006. And then Friday will be my SmackDown video on here. So like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel right here, click the notification bell, and we'll move on. Goodbye.